talking women's basketball recruiting here at Hoop Central. Thank you for joining us here for this all-new video. Here today, we're talking about UConn, Louisville, and Oregon, some of the recent things that these programs have been doing in regards to recruiting. Obviously, all the schools across the country have started to pick their recruiting back up, with everything starting to relax as far as AAU basketball picking back up. Visits, we'll talk about some official visits with Louisville and Oregon. With UConn, we're going to start by talking about some new interest. Talk about Chloe Briggs a little bit as well. Obviously, her name has been coming up a lot with UConn. So first, we'll start by talking about Joyce Edwards. In regards to UConn, their interest had been rumored for a couple of months now, but it was just recently confirmed as Chris Daly started following Joyce Edwards on social media, and right now she's ranked number 1 in the class of 2024, 6'2" forward out of Camden High School in South Carolina. Take note of that. She comes out of South Carolina. The Gamecocks of SC are already recruiting her. They've already extended an offer. They look to be the favorite coming in here early and down the stretch. And you go through this recruitment the next couple of years, you're going to see her, I think, look at South Carolina heavily. I think UConn's going to extend an offer in time and try to make that push. It's just going to be very interesting. Every program in the country is going to be on Joyce Edwards because you see special skills here. Again, at 6'2", playing the forward spot. When you look at UConn, they could really use her well. When you look at Aaliyah Edwards, what she's done coming in the post, when you look at what they've done with the other big players, Joyce Edwards can really fit that mold. Obviously, South Carolina, they do it just as well as anybody too. So look for it to be very much UConn, South Carolina. I feel here there will be other programs in the mix, but when you're looking at college commitment, I think it's going to come down to, in the end, UConn again, or the South Carolina Gamecocks. So that's kind of the first thing that I want to talk about with UConn. And the second thing is Chris Daly is also now following 2023 point guard Hannah Hidalgo, ranked 40th by ESPN and 56th by Blue Star, and she just recently played at the Omni Classic game with 2 UConn signees, and obviously Azzi Fudd and Caroline Ducharme. Again, very, very good player here, ranked 40th. I think she will continue to move up, and when you look at the class of 2023, again, it's very strong. It's really hard to rank this class because of all the players at the top. Obviously, Watkins, Full Wiley, currently ranked 2nd. Michaela Williams, Bria Cunningham, Ashlyn Shade, that's the top 5. And then you go down, you have a lot of other players. Arnold, you've got Renata Kelly, Sammy Wagner, who was once ranked number 2 in the class. So many players here that could be ranked so much higher. And we'll talk about another one here in just a second. But when you're looking at this particular prospect, Hannah Hidalgo, 5'6" point guard at a Paul VI powerhouse girls basketball program, I think she's going to get a lot of looks. I think she's going to get big interest from UConn. I think she's a player that they could really target at the point guard spot. Again, we're talking about 2023 here. Again, roster turnover at that time, going to be interesting to look at. I think they could possibly find a way to fit her in. So some interest coming in there. And the last thing with UConn is Chloe Briggs. Obviously a player that a lot of people in the UConn threads have been talking about as a big player of interest. And you look at some of her recent games through AAU. May 29th had a 44, 13, and 10 game. June 2nd had a 30-point, 19-rebound game. And obviously she's a player that everyone's tracking right now. And when you look at her in this class, ranked 27th by ESPNW at 5'10", at the guard spot, Ontario Christian High School in California, she's got to move up. The next time they update these rankings, I'm seeing a player here that, based on film, and we've watched a lot of film here of Chloe Briggs, she should be ranked in the top 15 right now. And I think she's going to have a rise similar to what Ashlyn Shade has had, being currently ranked in the top 5 right now in this class. Obviously, West Coast programs, UCLA, Stanford, Arizona, Oregon, those schools are going to be on it. And those schools are going to recruit her hard. Again, UConn extending some interest right now. I think Gino should really continue to take a look at her because she is a very special player and has a lot of skills. Really good outside game. She gets downhill, drives confidently. Again, a very, very skilled, really good player in Chloe Briggs. And UConn doing a good job right now in recruiting throughout all the classes in 2022, 3, 4, down the line as well. So that's what we're talking about with UConn. Going over to Louisville now. Louisville, they have hosted a lot of players for visits. As you know, Jeff Walls always recruits a lot of players every single class, and they hosted a couple of prospects recently. First, KK Branchford, who was being recruited by UConn, by Notre Dame, by every other top program in the country. She was just on campus for an unofficial visit. Zana Walker, top 15 player in the class, just visiting Louisville last week as well. And then you look at as Anaya Williams, a class of 2026, 5'7" prospect, visiting as well. Now, Louisville as well had previously hosted top 2022 prospect in Brianna McDaniel for an unofficial visit. So when you're looking at Louisville again, a lot of targets here in the class. They already have 2 commitments in Nyla Harris, who's ranked 28th by ESPN, and Alexia Mobley, who's ranked 31st. So they've already got off to a good start in this class, but looking to add some players as well. Again, most notably KK Branford, who is ranked in the top 10 in the class of 2022, and again was just on campus for an unofficial visit. And finally, with Oregon, a lot to talk about here with Oregon. They've had a lot of players coming for visits, and we're going to start with some players from the class of 2022. And first is Chance Gray. Chance Gray ranked number 7 overall, number 2 at the point guard spot, and you're looking at a lot of other schools recruiting her, a lot of other visits she's taking right now. But again, looking at stock rising players, she has been one of the biggest. 5'10", quick, aggressive, really good first step, has really grown in a lot of ways in her game. She attacks well, she can pass it, she can shoot it. She's really the complete player at the point guard spot. Ohio State, Arizona, Maryland, Oregon, obviously the top schools looking to get her right now. Chance Gray has already taken a visit, as has Grace Van Sluten, ranked number 13 overall by ESPN and number 4 at the forward spot. A lot of other schools in the mix here as well. She's taking a visit to Gonzaga. Duke is recruiting. You have Baylor in the mix, North Carolina, UCLA, Arizona, some of the other schools in the mix as well. Kennedy Basham from Phoenix, Arizona, 6'7" prospect, has also visited, number 44 overall player in the class, and the number 6 post player. Again, Oregon really targeting her hard. She's a West Coast prospect, and you look at her skills at that size. You rarely see players with that type of size and ball skills and everything that she brings to the table. And right now, you have a lot of other schools recruiting her as well. Just like we talked about with Grace Van Sluten, some of the same schools recruiting Kennedy Basham here. Arizona, Duke, Arizona State, UCLA, Louisville also in that top 6, again, along with Oregon. So those are the players from the class of 2022 that have taken visits. And when you're looking at the rest of the list here, Sammy Wagner, she's out of the class of 2023, was committed to Baylor, decommitted obviously after Kim Mulkey left to go to LSU. So you got that to track with Sammy Wagner, and obviously Andiah Rogers, USC transfer, who has already visited Oregon and will be looking to pick between Arizona and the Ducks. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Arizona might have a slight edge here because they just did hire Aaron Grant, the USC assistant coach, and Andiah Rogers looking to make her decision coming up soon. So a lot of stuff there with Oregon as well. Jenna Isai, top 40 player in the class of 2022, committing as well. Huge boost for the Ducks there in that class, and a lot going on with these 3 programs, UConn, Louisville, and Oregon. Keep it locked here in Hoop Central for all the updates, and we'll be back with more videos coming up soon.